right, hello, good evening everyone. Tonight my husband requested me to make some meatloaf for dinner and just a quick and easy meal tonight. So let me show you what I'm going to use for my meatloaf, and then we're just using some microwave potatoes. Nothing too exciting, but just let me show you what we're making tonight. Okay, so just going to make a very simple meatloaf. So I have the hamburger, onion already cut up, pepper already cut up. I have some oregano, Italian seasoning, some ketchup, salt and pepper, McCormick Montreal steak seasoning just to give it a little extra flavor. And these are just Idahoan buttery homemade mashed potatoes. Those are microwavable. We're just gonna eat those because I don't feel like peeling any potatoes, just for something really quick. And I need to get an egg and some milk. Okay, and before we get started, I'm just gonna turn the oven on, bake 350. Okay, and while that's heating up, we'll prepare the meatloaf. What I'm gonna do first is just wash my hands. Okay. And what I like to do first is crack the egg into the bowl, because if you get any eggshells, it's easier to find before you put all the other ingredients in. So just going to crack the egg. So you need one egg. And then I'm just going to open up the hamburger. Put the hamburger in. Okay, and then I'm gonna use a 1/4 cup of milk. And use a, let's see, need to get a, okay. Then I'm just gonna use a 1/2 cup of Italian seasoning mix. Okay, I'm gonna put 1/2 of these peppers in here. You can use any kind of peppers you want. I'm just using the orange ones for tonight since they're already cut up. I'll save the rest of these for my omelet in the morning. And we're gonna add some onions. I already diced these up earlier today. I'll probably use, David likes a lot of onions, so we'll put a lot of onions in there. All right, and some pepper. I don't know why it's not coming out. There we go. Pepper. A little bit of salt. And some Montreal steak seasoning, just to give it a little bit of flavor. And I always like to have some ketchup. I'm just eyeing the ketchup. But if you wanted to be a little more precise, I would probably use like almost a 1/4 cup. Just a little extra flavor. My mom always used ketchup in hers. So just add the ketchup. All right, and then we're gonna add a little bit of oregano. Just a little bit more flavor, probably just like a pinch. And I just use this oregano from the fresh market. I'm not sure if you guys have a fresh market around you, but we have some packages that are already measured out, and then I just use like 2 pinches of oregano. Then we're gonna give it, so that's everything. I'll show you. Again, we used 1 egg, some onions, peppers, oregano, Italian seasoning mix, ketchup, a 1/4 cup of milk. And we're gonna give this a good stir. You wanna make sure it's mixed up really well. Otherwise, some spots are gonna have seasoning in other spots. So I like to use this big fork to stir everything because it's easy to mash it in and stir at the same time. Now, if you don't mind getting your hands dirty, you could actually mush this with your hands, but I prefer not to mush it with my hands. So that's what it all looks like. Nice and stirred up. And then what I like to use, again, I like to use Pyrex glass containers. I think they work well when you're cooking. You don't need to grease this because the hamburger already has plenty of fat in it, so it doesn't need to be greased. Just give this one last stir. And this, let me just show you one more time. This I usually use to make banana bread or any sort of bread, but this works really good to cook meatloaf in. I make this a lot. Most of the time I do use a McCormick meatloaf package, but I didn't have one, so that's why I added my own seasonings. But when I use the McCormick one, I don't tend to use as much seasoning. And then I'm just putting it in here and making sure it's flat. It's flat like that. And then what you want to do is just take the ketchup and put a little drizzle on the top. Usually I always rate Maui or Hawaii or something because I'm always thinking about Hawaii and just like to be funny when I'm cooking my food. So today we'll just rate Hawaii. right, so I will turn this around so you can see. How well you can see that? Let me zoom in and I'll show you what that looks like. All right, so there's the meatloaf, and like I said, I just put ketchup on the top. You can make your own little design. Like I said, I always think about Hawaii, so I put Hawaii, Maui, Kauai, Big Island, whatever you want, whatever you like. Just makes it look a little fancier. All right, the timer's all set, and got the meatloaf all ready in the glass cooking-ware. So I'm gonna pop it in the oven for about 1 hour and cook it on 350. And I don't know if this makes a difference or not when you're cooking, but I always put my 2 cooking racks that are in the oven. Like there's one without anything on it, and then the 2 racks. And then I usually always push way in the back whatever I'm cooking. Yes, I know the oven needs cleaning, so disregard that. So we're gonna put it in the oven and cook it for 1 hour. So shut the oven. And if you have a timer on your stove, we're gonna cook for 1 hour. Right, 350 for 1 hour. So as you can see, it's pretty easy to prepare meatloaf. You can put whatever you want in it. That's just how my mom used to make it. So just David always likes how I make it. So just something quick and easy to make for dinner tonight. It's easy to prepare and only takes 1 hour to cook. So it is now about 5:15, so it should be done by 6:15, and we'll be eating dinner by 6:30 tonight. Okay, it's been an hour that the meatloaf has been in the oven, and it's about 6:15. And it's looking very good. It smells really good. I wish I could smell it. Take it out of the oven and set it on top of the stove top and let it cool down a little bit. And in the meanwhile, I will make the mashed potatoes that we got in these little cup things. Okay, I'll show you. Looks really good. And it does tend to make a lot of grease, so what I'm going to do is just take a bowl and pour the grease into this bowl. Grease harden, and we'll toss that in the garbage. So in the meanwhile, I'm going to cook these, like I said, Idahoan mashed potatoes. And what I like to do is open it up. I like to open it up, give it a good stir, because a lot of the times these things are hardened. You can see it's kind of hardened, these clumps. So I just try to get the clumps all nice and mashed up. bit of pepper, and a little bit of salt. Do you want any chives? All right, I'm gonna add a little bit of chives. Okay. And add a little bit of chives just for a little bit more flavor. Okay, so it's like that. And then I'm going to fill this up with water to the top. Okay, and then take the fork again and give that a good stir. And let's see how long it says to cook them for. Okay, it says to cook it on high for about 1.5 minutes. I'll cook it for about 1 minute and then give it a good stir and see if it needs any more cooking. And I like to cook one at a time. Right, microwave for 1 minute. And while that's microwaving, I'll get the second one done. But this is what I mean by clumps. Just break those up. Use your fingers or the fork. I like to use the fork. Again, add some salt, add some pepper, and some chives, just to doctor it up a little bit, give it a little more flavor. Fill it to the top with the water. It does have a water line, but I tend to fill it all the way up. Okay, give it a good stir. Okay, let's see how it's doing after a minute. Okay, and it's looking pretty good. Let's give it a good stir. Yep, looks pretty good. Now, I like to add a little butter to mine. These are supposed to be buttery, but I always add a little bit more to mine. Alright, and then we'll get on a plate. And I'll cut the meatloaf and show you how it turned out. How much do you want? Do you want a lot or a little bit? What? Right. Okay, there's the meatloaf. Looks really good. It's nice and done. And then what I'm going to do is just take the mashed potatoes for David and put them on the plate. And that is your very quick and easy meatloaf and mashed potatoes. and I'll let him decide what he wants on his. And for this little cup, it does give you quite a bit of mashed potatoes. I will show you real quick. Okay, so there's the meatloaf and the mashed potatoes. Not sure what David wants on his, so he can make his and whatever he wants. I already put salt and pepper in there, Dave, and chives, so you can add what you like.
That's all I get.
Check on mine. Okay. Sorry, he's just feeding the dog right now. It's the dog's dinner time also. I'm gonna just stir mine real quick. Great. You want a little bit more meatloaf?
Sure.
Okay, give me your plate, and I can do this other scoop. I wasn't sure how to put it in. Yep, is that enough? Okay. Put mine on a plate. Alright, so here's my piece. Again, just take this mashed potatoes, put it on the plate, and I'm gonna just add a little bit of butter to mine because I like mine nice and buttery. And I would probably have an Alani for something to drink with it. And I guess David is having a little bit of Pepsi. And I like to use, I can't believe it's not butter, with olive oil for my choice of butter. So I just use about that much butter, like 1 tablespoon, and add it to the potatoes. But anyways, if you're looking for a quick and easy meal to make, highly recommend you to make this meatloaf and mashed potatoes for dinner. All right, thanks for watching, and be sure to watch tomorrow as I prepare something else for breakfast or dinner. Not sure what I'll be doing tomorrow, but stay tuned and I will show you more fun, easy things to cook. Bye for now. Thanks for watching.